Motherfucker tell me I can't use that shit. You turn right around and use that shit. Fuck you. Welcome to Close Enough Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Jay. What are you drinking today, Mike?
I'm drinking a Jaeger Beach, baby.
Well, that's a stupid name.
Yeah, well, the baby part I added because I was trying to be suave with it. But it's called a Jaeger Beach.
That's also a stupid name, but alright, well, we'll accept it.
I like Jaeger, but I wanted to do something a little different. Looked up some options as opposed to just, Jaeger and Red Bull or straight Jaeger. Found this. It's called Jaeger Beach. You got 1 ounce Jaeger, 1 ounce Malibu rum, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, and 2 ounces of Red Bull. And it's pretty good. It's kind of...
So it's basically a Jaeger bomb with what kind of juice in it?
coconut rum and pineapple juice.
Sounds good to me. Bottoms up, baby.
So, Jay, what are you thinking?
Well, you know what happened today? Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, came over here at the request of the Republican Congress, without clearing it with the White House, to give a speech on Iran.
Wait a minute.
What?
First of all, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And second of all...
This is my part of the show.
Yes, but second of all, you told me you were watching 50 Shades of fucking Grey. So...
Yeah?
Did you see it?
I did, yes.
You went and saw it.
Yes, I did.
Did anybody in the theater get kicked out for masturbating?
Nobody in the theater got kicked out for masturbating.
Oh,
Actually, it was all old couples.
Really?
Yeah, it was like all like 50 and 60-year-old women and their husbands.
So did you sit there and picture all of them doing this shit when they got home?
Ugh, they break a hip.
Maybe that's part of what the bondage is for.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it. I haven't read the book. I know really nothing about it except for what women I have worked with in the past have talked about.
Well, I've not read the book. I've only seen the film, which was, I guess, rated R. It essentially was 2 hours of the parts of the porn that you fast forward through.
Okay, first question, any good nudity?
No.
Nudity at all?
Oh, yeah, there were, like, boobs pretty much constantly. But it still took, like, 40 minutes to get to them.
In a movie like that?
50 Shades of Grey took 40 minutes to get to fucking boobs.
That's ridiculous.
It was terrible. It made the Twilight movies look like a good love story.
Oh yeah, you've seen those too, haven't you?
I've seen every single one of those.
My God, another movie line to chalk up that you've seen I haven't, I don't ever want to watch.
Yeah, as long as we're on the topic of shit that I've seen that I don't want to, I've seen every single episode of Gilmore Girls.
What?
Every episode of Gilmore Girls.
Okay, back to 50 Shades of Grey, 'cause I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
House is only so big, dude. You know, your girlfriend's watching it, I got no place else to go. Well, yeah, so a friend of mine invited me to go see it. I guess she had just seen it with, or rather, she was going to see it with her boyfriend, and then they split up. She still wanted to see it, but didn't want to see it alone. And I figured, I'll look at my spectrum of possibilities here. Best case scenario, she watches it, she gets moist, I get to bang her afterwards, and maybe tie her to the bed. Worst case scenario, I autoerotically asphyxiate. So, I figured it probably lands somewhere between those two extremes.
And
it did. I saw the movie, and I guess now I get to talk about it on the podcast.
Nothing happened with the friend?
Well, a lady never tells.
It's a good thing you're not a lady.
Yes, and also nothing happened.
Okay.
But she paid, so that's something.
That is a plus.
I would not have paid to see this shitfest. But it's a movie that's pissing people off on both sides. Myself included, I was kind of pissed off at it. Because a movie that's supposed to be about hardcore bondage and S&M and... Yeah, it's light spanking and very, very, very introductory rope work. And that's it.
Now, you haven't read it, you already said, but do you think the book was a lot more intricate as far as those details go, as opposed to what the movie would be allowed to show?
Well, again, haven't read it. Really can't comment on that. I would imagine so, because books are generally, especially a book that's explicit, would have the freedom to do whatever the hell they wanted versus trying to sell it to a studio. But a lot of people were complaining that, the movie glorified violence against women or rape culture, and I don't see it. I saw a naive little bitch all fucking smitten with a billionaire. Now, if Christian Grey is his name, and the woman is Anastasia Steele. Nobody's named Anastasia Steele unless they're in a fucking trashy romance novel. Like, seriously, I watched this movie and I started to get cramps in my eyes from rolling them so hard. It's true. I really did. Now, I saw this at Loma Cinema and Grill.
Okay.
So I was drinking the whole time, too. I actually drank beer.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
they don't have much else there to...
I needed it.
Yeah.
But, had Christian Grey not been the billionaire CEO and rather had been some schmuck in a single-wide trailer with a playroom that consisted of a tire swing, a daddy's belt, some fucking Spencer's handcuffs, and a floppy double-sided dildo stuck in a road cone, it would have been a whole nother movie. It would have been, some creepy stalker fucking...
I was thinking Skinamax Joe Dirt.
Exactly, yeah. But no, the guy is able to get away with it because he takes her on a date in a fucking helicopter, brings her up in a glider, and spirits her across the Northwest in a fucking Audi R8. Yeah, I'll let the guy spank me too. The R8 is a beautiful car.
Yeah.
I just, I'm not a supercar guy, but that was the sexiest part of the movie. They went into his garage. Which one of these cars is yours? All of them. Oh, take me.
How many cars were there?
9 or 10, but they were all real high-end European cars. And they were all gray.
Nuh-uh.
50 Shades.
Oh, way.
Yeah. So, yeah, women are all pissed off because they think it's a manual for harassing and raping women and subjugating them and abusing them. And it is bullshit. Complete and total bullshit. It's a consensual relationship between adults. One of which is a fucktard and the other one's a douche fuck. But, it's written by a woman and women are reading it. They're buying it, they're reading it, they're going to see the movie. It's not socially acceptable. Yeah, it fucking is, because society is accepting it, and that's what socially acceptable means.
I was going to say, it's past taboo at this point when it's got, #1 rating book sales and high grossing in theaters. You can't... all these women that you're talking about, I guess I haven't really heard too much of avoiding any stories that have anything to do with this, but... These people, these women, I'm guessing a lot of feminist groups and whatnot that are lashing out, and Christian groups, I'm sure, too, lashing out about this. First of all, how many of them have actually, secretly amongst their group read the book and enjoyed
all of
it?
them, I'm sure.
Yeah. And now they're all watching, or, freaking out about the movie and claiming that this whole rape thing is their...
Nope.
It's enforcing it, I guess?
It's glorifying.
Glorifying it. Yeah, better word.
I've seen some Facebook posts going, instead of going to see 50 Shades of Grey, why don't you donate $50 to your local women's shelter? Yeah. No, yeah, do that. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. Because, women are abused. That happens. That exists. I lived in a women's shelter for 6 weeks when I was younger. So I got to live with, granted my mother wasn't abused, she was a psychopath, but that's not fair, she was an alcoholic schizophrenic. But I lived with some abused women and children who'd been abused, and for a very brief time experienced vicariously what it's like to have an abusive father and to be an abused mother. I mean, I had an abusive mother, who was crying wolf and trying to get my dad in trouble, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah?
For a whole other time. Love you, Dad. Anyway, the other end of the spectrum, it's the fetish folks that are pissed off at this movie. The bondage crowd, the BDSM crowd. Because, they say virgins shouldn't write sex scenes.
Yeah.
The person who wrote this obviously has no idea what goes on in the fetish lifestyle. And it's abundantly clear. And it's rather dangerous. Because like you said earlier, how many of these 50 and 60-year-old couples are going to run home and try this? It's like, I don't know, I think it's just a shitty introduction to the fetish world, and, it's just, of course, Christian Grey is only like this because he was abused as a child.
Oh, really? They actually...
absolutely.
Okay.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Because he's 50 shades of fucked up. Quote from the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So he's into light spanking and tying up to a bed because of being abused as a child?
Yeah.
I watch more than enough Criminal Minds to know that if you're really that much fucked up as a child, you're going to do a lot worse than that.
Yeah, it's just, I had a rougher... Shut the fuck up. So, I mean, on all aspects, this movie failed. As a movie, it failed. It was boring. It had no end. Obviously, it's going to be part of a 3-parter, because if some asshole will go see this once, they'll see it 3 times for thrice the price.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I heard they're talking about doing the second one, and...
Oh, it's totally a trilogy.
Somebody, either, I don't know, one of the 2 main actress, actually already said that they don't want to do it, and so now they're trying to negotiate on money.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shitty movie. It's made so much fucking money. So there'll be another. But like I said before, instead of going to see this movie, donate to a local women's shelter. You're better off that way.
What about if you're just really into that kind of porn? Why don't you go watch some real shit that has to do with this?
Yeah, I mean, the internet's there. You can find it. Because in my porn, people fuck.
This week's Close Enough podcast is brought to you by Clockwork Garage. Clocks, keychains, and more made from recycled auto parts. Visit clockworkgarage.com.
Gosh, you know what time it is? That's right. Yeah, fuck it. We're not using any of that.
No, that was really bad.
Movie review time.
Movie review time. I'm excited.
Are you crying?
There's no crying in movie review time.
Sometimes there is. This week, we watched the Robocop reboot.
We did.
We did. And by this week, I mean late last night.
Actually, yeah, it's exactly when I was watching it. It was late last night.
Around midnight.
Same
Was
here.
2 fucking hours long? Shit.
Yep, just about midnight, I think, is when I put that fucker on.
So, late last night, early this morning, we watched the Robocop reboot. This is the 2014 version. And it's Robocop. We all know the story of Robocop. Hero cop, gravely injured, rebuilt by Omnicorp to go and fight crime.
That pretty much...
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you know...
It's fucking Robocop.
Yeah. There's similarities and differences, very much so. Very much. 1987, I think?
86 or 87, I would say.
Okay. I mean, the story, you got the good cop that, you know, something bad happens to him, he comes back, that's still the same.
I love how in 87 they were like, oh, Detroit, the shittiest city in the world.
And in 2015, we're like, oh, Detroit, the shittiest city in the world.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, have you ever been to Detroit?
No, I've not.
I've been through it a couple times. It's
the shittiest city in the world.
It's pretty bad, man. Yeah.
So, trying to rein us onto topic here. I know we're the kings of fucking tangents, but what did you think of it?
I enjoyed the movie. I did everything I could to forget about the original and look at this as a movie on its own. And I think as a movie on its own, it did it all right. As a reboot, way too serious. But I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way they went about it. Gary Oldman was in it. That was one of the most exciting things for me.
What has he ever been in that sucked, though?
Yeah. Well, even if the movie sucked, it's still Gary Oldman. I mean, come on. Honestly, though, I really only knew 3 people in the movie. 4 people, sorry. 4 people in the movie. The whole rest of the cast. Well, Michael Keaton. Mm-hmm. Gary Oldman. Mm-hmm. Damn it, I can't remember the kid's name, but he was the publisher.
Canadian.
Huh?
The Canadian kid?
Yeah. He was the
the PR guy.
The PR guy. Thank you.
Yeah, he was Jay something or other.
He was in Knocked Up and End of the World.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in it, and then damn it, who was the other guy?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you. My brain stopped.
Who needs to stop being in things? He just needs to stop. Like, I think of Samuel L. Jackson now as a Ron Perlman.
He's getting there.
It's just like, oh, good, it's him again.
Just with bigger names on the billboards.
Now he's gonna drop a motherfucker in here somewhere.
And then they're gonna bleep it out this time.
You know why they bleeped it out?
To keep the rating under R.
PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
Robocop. PG-13.
You know why?
I do know why. They wanted to make more money.
Well, there's an actual reason why. Well, what it was originally the movie was supposed to be, I think, on a $56 million budget or something like that.
80. And
it ended up being like a $120 million budget. So originally it was supposed to be a rated R movie. And then when they realized the budget went up that much, they said, well, we need to figure out how to make more money. And the basically the film company said, well, you're going to have to figure out how to make it PG-13. So they had to start editing out a lot of shit.
The idea was by going to PG-13, they would open it up to a broader audience.
Yeah.
But what they really did is they were like, crap, we're over budget. We need to make more money. Let's water this shit down.
That's exactly what happened.
Now, this is Robocop. I know you said you wanted to divorce it from the older film, but this is Robocop.
Mm-hmm.
Robocop, if you recall, was one of the only movies to ever receive an X rating without any nudity in it.
Yeah, I think now that you mention it, I do recall that.
They had to water down the original Robocop. I'm Robocop. No drain is safe. They had to water Robocop down to get an R rating out of it. So to water it down to a PG-13 is I'm not a big fan of censorship.
No,
It
I'm not
pisses
either.
me off.
I'm same page.
Like, I could understand why they would bleep, I can't remember his fucking name, Samuel L. Jackson's character. I can understand why they would bleep that, because in the movie, he's doing a live show. He's doing a broadcast, so I can understand that being censored.
Yeah.
But it just pisses me off when people... you ever watch Epic Mealtime on YouTube?
I used to.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, where you fucking, every time they swear, they bleep it out with like a bird squawk or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it always ticked me off, because this is YouTube. You can swear on YouTube.
No shit.
Yeah. If you don't want to swear, that's fine. You don't have to. But it just pisses me off that he would swear and then bleep it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be hard and edgy, but I also want to be clean.
You
know
think
what
that
I'm
was a
saying?
character thing for them?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Okay. Didn't think about it that far.
Because if, you know, when it started out, it was just a couple of guys fucking around in their kitchen, and those are the best episodes. When, you know, they're just, hey, let's make a pizza with a burger on it. Ha ha ha. But once they started to get money for it, it started to become a thing. You know, if they really wanted to, they would have cleaned up their act if they gave a shit. But, I mean, that's what the Robocop said to me. Watered down and kind of sad. And, you know, overall, it was an okay movie, but I don't think it lives up to the original.
No, not at all.
I mean, the production of it, of course, has advanced by 30 years. So, yeah, it's a prettier movie, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But... you know, I saw the modernization of it. It's like, oh, well, let's start with, you know, what's going on now. Let's throw buzzwords around, like drones. Let's call them drones.
Yeah.
Everybody's calling them drones now. You know.
It was one of my things. Like one of those, you know, you know me. Yeah, I love movie quotes, and some things, they just stick with me. Did you notice the redo on the original quote?
Yeah, I did.
That
There were a couple things in the film like that, where they're trying to harken back to the original.
but they wanted to keep it their own.
But they failed at it. I don't know. In a way, I think they're too clever for their own good. You've seen Stargate SG-1?
No.
You're
I know what
aware
it
of
is.
First episode. It's Richard Dean Anderson, who was MacGyver, is the main character. In the first episode, they make a comment, just a little... oh, we were trying to figure something out. We couldn't, so we MacGyvered it. And then they paused and they look at him and he smirks. And it's like, stop jerking each other off. Congratulations, you made a pun. We all get it. Let's get on with it.
Well, I mean, I like that in some movies, and especially certain things I expect. I bring him up all the time, Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I expect that from all his movies to have some sort of throwbacks and references and Easter eggs that have to do with all his other work. That's what he does. In a movie like this, a nod, I get. But like you said, continuous, what's the right word? Continuous, I mean, I guess. You can't even call it Easter eggs, because it was just...
I want to bring an example to your attention.
Sure.
You're a Batman fan.
Huge.
Even the shitty ones.
Yes.
Nipple Batman.
Yes.
When they get to the island, holy rusted metal Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's metal. It's rusty. It's full of holes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. Just fucking awful. Because it's making fun of itself.
Yeah.
But not in the good way. It's like, aren't we dumb? Yes, you're dumb. I don't. That's how it seemed to me. Like it took the.
Okay.
It took the fucking amusement of the original, the campiness of the original Batman. It's just Adam West in you know, fucking pajamas running around in a Thunderbird, and it's campy and zoink, biff, bam. That's got its appeal. RoboCop had its appeal for its smart-ass satire and its fucking commercials and its all of its nonsense. And when was it Schumacher did the Batman film?
Yes, yeah, Schumacher.
When he tried to make the throwback to that, it was, you know, it wasn't nearly as clever as I think he intended to be. It was more like he was pissing all over it.
Schumacher really
He
did poor with both those movies, but still.
Nipple Man. But, you know, I do want to make another Batman allusion.
Of course.
About this film in general. The reboot of it, I think, was trying to capture the Nolan Batman thing.
Trying to change the verse to where it was more serious like that?
Yeah, let's make this more, you know, more realistic with air quotes around it. Let's make it more grounded. Let's make it grittier and real. And
okay. I mean, I could see that, but it was still... There wasn't enough to hold itself in its own verse like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that. Well, on some of the positive sides, though. I love that scene when they test him and he goes in with all the other drones everywhere and he's got to shoot the guy.
Yeah.
Great scene. But it just he calls back to old Gary Oldman. He's like, hey, what would this do? to an exoskeleton.
What would happen if I shot an exoskeleton with a little asshole inside?
I think we're about to find out.
Let's find out.
That was great, man. That made me laugh. It was funny, and that guy was a douche the whole movie. So
It was. There were some pretty scenes in there, some action scenes, but I don't think there was enough action. And I'm going to sound like you here, but it wasn't violent enough.
I agree with you on that.
It's like when you're watching one of those medieval movies and they're running into fields and stabbing people and their swords are clean.
Yeah.
The fuck.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not a gore hound, but at the same time,
when it's warranted, it's warranted.
I know I'm being played.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not a gore hound, but I can watch Braveheart.
I love Braveheart.
It's a good film.
Fantastic movie. I agree with that completely. I was thinking the same thing, especially when you watch the first one, but that goes with the higher rating, I'm guessing. Just because of all the destruction, I guess. This one didn't have it as much. I think one of the things that irked me also, the guy that was responsible for his attempted murder and the guy he's hunting down the whole thing, it was like all of a sudden, let's get him. And he found him. He found reasons because he was the robot and done. I was like, wow, that was fucking quick.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go track down the criminal mastermind, and it's going to go down in 2.5 minutes in a poorly choreographed, night vision, thermal vision.
Exactly.
And then the guy's going to blow up from a dropped grenade as he's walking away in the background. It's unfulfilling.
Very.
It's just the tip.
Very. And then I don't know, I mean, I guess that whole 6 minutes of the movie, where he does that, then he goes and finds the dirty cops, then he finds out that the captain or whatever is the one that's behind all the shit. That whole section right there, and then they shut him off, was like, I can't think of a better way to say it than what you said, unfulfilling. Mm-hmm. I wanted more from that part.
Yeah.
And it was already a 2-hour-long damn movie. But that one scene right there, I'm like, you could have done something more with this and something a little less over here. Or
yeah, the movie lacked a clear antagonist. You're like, okay, well, he's got this guy he's been going after forever. Oh, he blew him up. Oh, no, that's shitty. Oh, they're going to rebuild him. Oh, they took him apart and he's just a pair of lungs and a brain and a hand.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think was strange that they left the hand.
I thought that as well.
I mean, do you remember in the original they were able to save his arm?
Mm-hmm.
And, he's like, oh, we were able to save the arm. He's like, fuck it, lose it. So that's, I think, why they left the hand. It was another throwback to, well, he's got one hand.
That's what I was thinking. I think I even said something about that, and I was like, why the fuck just the hand? Seriously? Like, just give him another robotic arm like the other one.
Yeah, I mean, keep the brain, sure, whatever, but having a fleshy hand doesn't really, unless they needed fingerprints for something, biometrics, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to play apologist for this movie. I mean, it was kind of neat when they took him apart, and he's like, oh, that's awful, I want to die.
Don't ever let me see myself like this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
one thing I thought was kind of, I don't know if it was clever, but I wasn't really expecting it. When first time they let him go, and he starts running away, and then all of a sudden he's outside in rice patties.
Oh, because it's China.
It's
what
China.
Else is in China?
So you got Omnicore with the mechanical, all the drones and security and everything everywhere, walls. He jumps the wall and he's in a rice paddy. That was one of those. I don't even want to say irony, like you said, because it's in China and that's too much of a pun. He just did that. That threw me off a bit.
It's
I was
racy
like,
lacism.
What's that?
It's racy lacism.
Yeah. Then they shut him down and he falls in the paddy while he's running. That part was just funny to me though, because I didn't expect to see that. You see him in the facility, and then all of a sudden he's in a fucking rice paddy. It was like, well, shit, I didn't see that coming. Like,
well, yeah, like I was saying though, he gets out. You got the guy that put him in this situation. He's like, I'm gonna go find him, and then he goes and he finds him. He blows him up in a 6-minute fucking. Okay, cool. What's that? Oh, there's an hour of the movie left. All right, well, who's he after now? Oh, the dirty cops. Okay.
But that happens.
Yeah.
Immediately after.
It's like, okay, well, now who's the bad guy? Why are we here? Why is there an hour left? Why is there 45 minutes left? And then at the end, they spent so much of the movie dehumanizing him, and then
they want to make him a hero, a human hero, so to speak, by making him a martyr. But they were the ones that were going to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, just from the writer's point of view, though, is how do they make him human again?
Yeah.
And they don't ever explain that. So,
I mean, I'm realizing we're both sitting here just talking negative about the whole movie, but I enjoyed it. I had a fun time watching it.
I mean, it bugged me that it wasn't Robocop, because it's fucking Robocop. But yeah, you can sit down, you can watch this.
Yeah.
Separating it from the original, which is what I almost don't want to.
Well, like we already mentioned this before. Look what happened with Dredd. Huge difference.
Yeah, I liked Dread, but
I liked the remake too, though. I thought they did a fun
have
job.
you watched The Raid yet?
No, we haven't seen it yet.
I think you might have to actually order that from Netflix. But The Raid Redemption, it's a fucking Thai film. Came out around the same time. It's the same fucking movie.
Yeah,
only better.
you were telling me about that. But I mean, they came out with, man, how many in the last like 3-4 years reboots like this?
Well, like I said, I mean, the Batman reboot came out and did very well, so everyone's like, oh, gotta do that. What are we gonna reboot? Let's reboot Candyland. Let's fucking reboot Godzilla. We just rebooted Godzilla 2 years ago. Let's fucking do it again.
Yeah, what was it, 2002, 2003 they did Godzilla with, Matthew...
I have no idea.
Ah,
Lillard.
Jesus. Huh?
Matthew Lillard?
No, damn it.
McConaughey?
The producers. He was in the producers, and he was also Ferris Bueller. Broderick. It was Matthew Broderick. Was in the last, I believe it was him that was in the last Godzilla movie. Then they come out with this one. I haven't even seen it, but I saw part of it.
Bah.
But yeah, they're just doing continuous reboots at this point. I don't even know how to
come up with anything fucking new.
Yeah. Oh God.
Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a reboot or is it just a prequel or I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know either. I mean, ever since they made Prometheus.
Oh, Neil Blomkamp.
Well, huh?
It's not in here. The guy who did District 9 and Elysium.
Yeah.
Is going to be directing the next Aliens film.
Okay.
So
that should be good though. I thought it. Yeah, I like District 9. I didn't see Elysium.
District 9 was fantastic. Elysium is to District 9 what Snatched is to Lock, Stock.
Okay.
Where you watch a movie and you get the same experience and you like it, but it's not just the same shit rehashed.
Gotcha.
It's very well done.
Did you see... Now we're going off of tangents like we were talking about.
Yeah, we're the kings of tangents.
But I was just going to say the Predators, the newer one with Adrian Brody, and I don't remember anybody else's names in it. It was one that just came out a couple of years ago.
Was it like a reboot or is it one of the AVPs?
No, it's after the AVPs. It was actually good. I enjoyed it. Anyway, sorry, back to Robocop.
Oh, we're going to think about Robocop, eh?
Yeah, we've been trying. So, Jay, what are you going to give this one?
It's a toughie. It's a toughie because, like I said, it's a reboot, so you're supposed to wipe away everything you know about the original. But it's fucking Robocop, and I liked Robocop. When I was a kid, that movie, scarred me in a good way. It was like, holy crap, that guy went into the tank of toxic waste. Ah, why did he get shot in the balls? Somebody give this man a hand. Yeah. But to be fair to this movie, I have to judge this movie on its own merits. It wasn't violent enough. It wasn't a sufficient amount of violence for a movie dealing with a violent subject. We're going to call it a 6. It was a pretty movie. It was well done. Had a fairly good cast, even if Samuel L. Jackson can go fuck himself. But bottom line, I wouldn't buy it for $1.
Oh, dude, you took my line.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck, man.
I didn't know. I guessed, but
I was totally going to use that.
How could you not?
All right, well, I'm on a similar page with you. Fan of the old one. Actually, I haven't seen it in so long. I think I need to sit down and watch it. Both of them back to back, actually. 1 and 2 were great.
Aren't there like 3 of them?
Yeah, I don't remember the third one though. I only remember watching 1 and 2.
Well, the first one was Tangent. Go on.
I know. Trying to stop.
Podcast has gone from a 25-minute podcast to an hour-long ramble.
But being a fan of the other ones, like I already said, I did take this one as best I was able to as a merit of itself. And your criticism is exactly what I felt. It just wasn't quite enough of the action and violence, and it was a 2-hour-long movie where they wrapped some things out way too quick, and some things could have been elaborated on maybe. And I think the rating change that we were discussing has mostly to do with it. So I'm actually also going to give it a 6, but I would buy it for $1.
I literally wouldn't buy it for $1. If someone said, here's Robocop, that'll be $1, I wouldn't do it.
No, I would.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's our opinions on the Robocop reboot. Did you agree with us? If you do, or more importantly, if you don't, send us an email. Let us know what you think. That's CloseEnoughRadio@gmail.com. Guess it's time to drag the trash can over here and find out what we're going to be watching next week. Let's go with this one. Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas?
Don't know, but it's on the list, so fuck it. We're watching Odd Thomas. Head on over to Netflix and queue up Odd Thomas. Give it a watch. Let us know what you think of it. Come back here, join us again next week for our opinions on Odd Thomas. The Close Enough Radio podcast is brought to you
Hey.
the Close Enough Radio podcast.
Jay, you try to get out of this every week. It's not going to happen.
The Close Enough...
It's quiz time. You can do that later.
Okay.
I had fun with this quiz. I really did. Until the last couple questions, I was like, damn it, this is harder than I thought. So, no, you can do that later. It is quiz time. Some of this, I really wasn't sure about my questions, because I think you might have a good opportunity getting some, and then some you may not.
Before we start, are you going to dick me over with a 10 out of 27 point?
No, this is a straight 10 out of 10.
Excellent. Well, let's see what it is.
All right, well, let's see. We're going to call this week's quiz Birdman.
Birdman?
Yeah.
Birdman, like the Michael Keaton film?
Yeah, that's where I got the name from.
You can't do that. We'll get sued.
Son of a bitch. All right, we'll call this 10 questions about random shit I'm hoping Jay won't know.
I know a lot about random shit.
Okay. Well, let's see how you do here. You ready?
I suppose.
Doesn't really matter.
We can edit ourselves forward.
Doesn't really matter. I even, you know what? I even went nice on this quiz to the point where I actually wrote down choices for you on a lot of the questions, because I don't normally do that for you, and you do it for me.
Yeah. Have to cater to your intellect.
Fuck off and die.
No more choices for you.
9. All right.
We give you 4 incorrect choices.
Question 1. How many Academy Awards has Michael Keaton won? You can choose from 0, 1, 3, or 4.
3.
0.
That's a shame. He's pretty good in Beetlejuice.
He's getting quite a few things, yeah.
I saw some Beetlejuice in character whose name I can't remember. At one point he said something. I'm like, he was Beetlejuice, wasn't he?
Did you?
I can't think of any specific examples, but he was Beetlejuice.
Maybe we'll go over that later.
Probably not.
Okay. All right, question 2. Michael Keaton was Batman for 2 movies directed by Tim Burton. In those 2 movies, was Two-Face one of his villains?
No.
Correct.
It was George Clooney.
Correct. All right. What month is considered the two-faced month? January, May, July, or October?
May.
No, sorry, that's January. All right. We all know Harvey Dent.
No. Why?
I don't know. It was just something I found when I was looking this up.
Oh, come on.
I didn't get the reason.
Seriously?
Seriously, I didn't get the reason.
January's the two-faced month, and we have no idea why.
Correct.
Brilliant.
Yep.
All right, then.
All right. Two-Face, who is also Harvey Dent, was the assistant district attorney for Gotham. Which of these fictional characters was not an assistant district attorney? Alexandra Cabot from SVU, Bill Vincent from Perry Mason, Jean Grey from X-Men, or Casey Novak from SVU?
Who wasn't?
Correct.
Cabot and Novak, I believe both were. I don't know either of the other two, so I'm going to say the Perry Mason guy.
That's actually incorrect. It is Jean Grey from X-Men.
Okay, well, I knew that both Novak and, aside from being very beautiful, were also assistants.
Okay. Next one here we've got Jean Grey was a staple X-Men character until killed, depending on which source you read, either by flying into the sun or an accidental overdose of radiation.
Yeah, because that happens.
Yeah. She then came back to life, possessed and representing what creature?
You couldn't multiple choice me?
Okay, fine.
You're very inconsistent.
A raven, a fox, a phoenix, or a jackal?
Yeah, I actually was thinking Phoenix beforehand, so I'm gonna go with Phoenix.
Okay, Phoenix is the correct answer.
Because flying into the sun and coming back.
Coming back from the ashes, coming back from the... Exactly. Okay, Phoenix is the correct answer then.
Good.
All right, next question. In Phoenix, Arizona, it is illegal to do what?
Tie an elephant to a parking meter without paying for it.
I've got options for you.
Oh, okay, well.
Back up a car, hunt a camel, drink before noon, or camp in state parks?
Blue laws, eh? I'm gonna go with back up a car.
Sadly, no. It is hunt a camel.
Oh, okay.
All right, next question. Camels can drink up to how many liters of water in a day? Is 3, 5, 7, or 10?
10.
7.
I thought it was 80, so
All right.
fucking know.
Your last 3 questions here are all true or false. Okay?
True?
True or false?
Oh, I thought that was a question.
No. Edward Norton turned down the role of Dr. Norton, which was played...
True.
Okay, true. Yep. Yeah, I didn't have to finish the question.
Yeah, well, I read that one.
Okay, good job. Did
I
you read
did-
the
I did
trivia on
research the movie we did.
Did you read the trivia on the IMDb?
Sure did.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I never take anything from there.
Me too.
All right, true or false? During Fight Club, Edward Norton and Brad Pitt took soap making classes.
True.
True, that is correct. Yes, they did.
Going back, I was looking over the IMDb trivia on all the people that turned down roles in Robocop, and I'm just going, that would have been a way better movie.
I didn't look at all of them. I just...
Like, that's what all the fucking trivia was. Such and such was turned down. They wanted this guy, and he said no. They wanted that guy, and he said no. Robocop was going to be Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but he was like, nah, I'm doing Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's like, Edward Norton is another guy who's fucking good in everything he does.
Yeah, I agree. I love Edward Norton. Definitely. All right, and your last question. True or false? Michael Keaton was the oldest actor to play Batman until Ben Affleck was cast in Batman vs. Superman.
I'm going to say false.
The actual answer is true. Michael Keaton was 40, and Ben Affleck is 41.
I just thought George Clooney was like in his 60s or something.
Not Michael Keaton was... Well, when he played Batman, Clooney was actually under 40 at that time. So yeah, you actually did a little better than I expected. You got, let's see, 4. You got 4 out of 10.
That quiz was like a Wikipedia sucker hole.
And Wikipedia was barely used at all in any of this.
You ever done a Wikipedia sucker hole?
No.
Well, you go on there, you're looking something up, and like somewhere along the line you see a purple line, and you're like, wingsuit combat. Next thing you know, the sun's coming up, and you're reading about some sort of crazy hole in Siberia or something.
But that was actually my original intent, was to try to make everything connect, and then I kind of got to camel and water, and I couldn't figure out where to go from there.
Cigarettes.
Huh?
Cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, too late now. Well, next time you need help writing a quiz, call me. I'll help you out.
If it's for somebody else, I most definitely will.
Oh.
Not
I'll
if
do
it's...
them for the show, too.
I'm sure you would.
I will totally write my own quizzes.
Yeah, not happening.
I mean, you saw what happened on my the J&J Alone show. I had a quiz.
Yeah.
I did very well on it, too.
I noticed.
I got all of them. You should be ashamed.
What?
The Close Enough Radio podcast is brought to you by A Clockwork Garage. Clocks, keychains, and more made from recycled auto parts. Visit www.aclockworkgarage.com. Our audio technician is Jennifer Kung Fu Hustle. We want to hear from you. Send us your questions, comments, complaints, and outright insults to closeenoughradio@gmail.com or visit us on our Facebook fan page, Close Enough Radio. Now over to Mike for the news.
Thank you for that, Jay. That was quite amusing. The introduction. I appreciate that. You have no idea what that means to me. First thing you hear, I just saw the story. Just tell. It's fucking Florida. When you're drinking, you're going home. What are you thinking? I want fucking Taco Bell or Denny's, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know that sober people eat Taco Bell.
Well, I mean,
nobody goes to Denny's. They end up at Denny's.
Yeah, exactly. And then half the time they get kicked out. Well, I found this story, and apparently nobody's ever wanted Taco Bell as much as this fucking bitch has. 23-year-old Florida woman drunk and craving tacos from Coral Springs, Florida, leaving her bar, having some drinks with her friends and whatnot, going home, decides she wants some Taco Bell.
Yeah, as one does.
And smashed her car into the side of it. Went through the part of the building until the car was actually stopped by the soda machine inside. When cops got there, she was pretty much blacked out and found to have a .223 blood alcohol level. The legal limit being .08. So,
overachiever.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've never had that much of an alcohol level, but...
Did you drive afterwards?
I was going to say I definitely wasn't driving, and I'd never gone through a Taco Bell wall. So.
I have never been so drunk that I couldn't decide between the drive-thru and the lobby.
All right, here we go. I got another, I don't know if you've heard about this one or not. There was a Florida man got kicked out of a strip club and arrested. That doesn't sound like a big deal.
Yeah,
Happens all the time.
News, woo.
Well, apparently he drunk, got kicked out of a strip club. It happens. Called the cops, or called 911, I'm sorry, 6 times in 42 minutes, attempting to get their attention for somebody to come out, to have the cops take his side so he could get back in the strip club. He went as far even to say that there was a shooting at the strip club so police would show up. When the 911 operator asked him where the police could find him as a witness, he said, well, I've already left the club and I'm up the street, but I'll come back to find the cops. Basically, he ended up getting arrested for lying to the 911 operators and trying to cause a scene that didn't even happen. I mean, this guy, just because he got kicked out of a strip club, went as far to try to report a false shooting at the strip club to get police attention because he got kicked out of a damn strip club.
Fucking Florida.
I couldn't.
Why is it always Florida?
Yeah. I mean, damn idiots, man. I mean, they're everywhere, don't get me wrong, but Jesus Christ. Well, our next story, also in Florida, very local to us, Apopka, Florida.
That's just right up the road.
Exactly, 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, Apopka's 20 minutes from everywhere.
Yeah. Well, there was a girl. I don't know if you heard about this. It's almost sad, but it's almost fucking pathetic. A little girl was killed while sitting in the road. That sounds sad. The reason I say fucking pathetic is this 13-year-old, I guess, was with some friends at the fair this last weekend, and her mom picked them up, and they were driving, and according to statements, she got in an argument with her family over who should be sitting where in the car, and got fed up with it, got out of the car, and started saying, "I'm going to walk 3 miles home, I don't care."
Was this a shotgun situation?
Yeah.
Shotgun, fuck.
Yeah. Well, she starts walking, and I guess sits down in the middle of the road, and mom comes up and says, "Get in the car," no, get in the, that whole argument. And what happens, but another frickin' car comes up, and girl's dead. The, sad little princess.
Hold on. Wait, help me understand this. Argument over where they're sitting in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Stamping temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Sitting down in the road.
In the middle of the road.
Struck by a car.
Yes.
No, that all makes sense. I go from one thing to the next.
To add to that, apparently she was actually wearing dark clothing as well.
Oh, yeah. Was she a Kevin Ward fan? That's a little joke for you, Booze.
Okay, I'm not sure. It is actually kind of funny here. I got a quote. One of the quotes from the officer that was at the scene said, "Whatever they were arguing about could not have been that important."
Of course not.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't in the car, so I can't say too much, but any situation that resolves in a little girl having a temper tantrum, that by the time she's age 13, you need to know how to resolve that, or you're going to have a little bitch on your hands.
Why is it always Florida?
Yeah.
Seriously, I need some other state to just bring out the biggest, craziest douche I've ever seen to just make me okay to live in Florida for a day.
Well, I think for once we might have that, Jay. I found something that is.
Don't blow on my clit, man. Come on, seriously?
Yeah, seriously. This is my story. I was saving it till the end on purpose.
What do you got?
Well, here's the thing. This is kind of a long story. It just keeps getting better and better and better as you read this. So I'm not even going to go for my notes. I want to read this to you. Okay?
Right. All right. Hit me.
Let's see. The headline reads, "Man busted selling energy drinks containing meth." That sounds like Florida, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
First thing right here, Madison, West Virginia.
Virginia.
So not Florida.
Okay.
Finally.
All right. Well,
Boone County resident Jasper June, 72, was arrested today on felony charges for manufacturing and distributing.
Name's Jasper.
Jasper.
West Virginia.
Yeah, distributing homemade energy drinks containing the powerful stimulant of methamphetamines. The Boone County Drug Task Force raided June's tree fort. June lives in a 200 square foot tree fort on his brother's property. 72-year-old man lives in a 200 square foot tree fort on his brother's property.
I like this guy.
This is like I said. As I read this, it gets better.
How does it get better? He's running a meth empire out of a treehouse.
Yes. To find Jasper wearing only an adult diaper and reading Arabic pornographic magazines. So when the cops show up in his treehouse with his methamphetamine energy drinks, he is only wearing an adult diaper and pornographic magazines.
His fucking copy of Allah's ankle. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't even know what that technically means, but
I almost do and don't want to go find
Arabic porn. What, are you gonna wear adult diapers while you're reading it too?
Maybe.
All right. Well, as the story continues, police seized approximately 25 2-liter bottles of June's energy drink found in a cinder block pump house on the property. The bottles tested positive for methamphetamines. June came under suspicion when he sold 4 bottles to several high school girls who later were checked into a hospital with internal bleeding. The children's parents phoned the authorities. A police report contains several statements from June. "They're just energy drinks like Rockstar or Monster. It's not meth in there. It's just lemonade, caffeine, sugar, and a couple drops of gasoline. I swear to God I didn't put meth in there."
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's his quotes to the cops, saying, "There is gasoline in there, but I didn't put meth in it."
Because that's better.
Well, customers, I'm assuming he means, high school kids, would come to June's home, treehouse, to buy drinks, $20 for a 2-liter of this shit. One customer, quotes unquotes, spoke on the condition of anonymity. I'm shocked Jasper put a crank in his energy drinks. I didn't know nothing about that. I just knew they worked good to keep me awake for a couple days.
What?
Stuff was way better than Monster Energy drink.
Couple of days?
Couple of fucking days. What else does this? All right.
I think you're right, man. This is the...
I'm almost at the end of what I'm reading here.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, there's more?
Bear with me. Just a little bit. Not a lot. A little bit.
Okay.
Hours after June's first statement, he later confesses, okay, I put just a little meth in there to get them addicted and keep customers coming back. I know they all testify against me, so let me make something else clear. I pissed in every bottle. Not Florida. Thank fucking something.
Thank you, West Virginia. Thank you, Jasper Jones.
Oh my god, dude. One of the best fucking stupidest stories I've ever heard. I pissed in every one of them.
You know what? On that note, I think we should call this, because I gotta hit the road.
You gotta go get some meth drinks. $20 a 2-liter, man.
$20 to stay up for a couple of days. Sounds like a bargain.
It just goes to show you never know what you're gonna find in a treehouse.
Where'd you get this? I bought it from the old man in the treehouse.
What the fuck was it? All right.
Well, gotta go.